Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, June 6th. I'm at the desk as always on a Saturday, and welcome to the program. I'm Michael Taylor. Happy birthday to my friend Ann. It's her birthday today. Not that you needed to know that, but I thought I'd give her a shout out. You never know. Maybe she's watching. You never know. All right. On our show today, let's just get right to it. On our show today, we're going to be talking with the Orange County Fire Authority and the California Highway Patrol's very own Captain Steve Concialdi and PIO Brian Kinsley. We're going to talk about the Every 15 Minutes program. It's a very impactful program that's going on for many years here, since the 90s here in Orange County. And it's been on high school campuses for all those times, showing kids the real life consequences of drinking and driving. It's an impactful program. We're going to talk about its effectiveness here in the community and what they have planned for the future of that program as well. We want to keep you informed as well, and we are honoring our nonagenarians. Is that a word? I guess it is. Nonagenarians, it means you're 90 years old. Residents aged 90 or older are invited to be honored at the annual nonagenarian celebration. It's coming up Tuesday, June 16th at 11:30 at Clubhouse 5. The event features a sit-down luncheon, live entertainment from pianist and singing duo Mark and Sharon. Attendance is free for residents who are 90 and older. Of course, they should be free for them. They're the honorees. And while guests may attend for $25, you can purchase tickets by June 12th at Clubhouse 5 office. Or for more information, go ahead and call the number on your screen. All right, let's take a check of our temperatures, and we got some very nice temperatures for today, tomorrow, and really into starting next week. We start to get a little bit of a warm up. If you like the warmer temperatures, we've got something for everybody here. Cool temperatures today, which I'm a fan of. Cloudy, clearing usually at about partly cloudy, maybe later today. Then partly sunny tomorrow. Clouds in the morning, clearing out. Then with sunny skies start to kick in. 75, 77. Look at that, 79 on Wednesday. So we got a little bump up, a little mini heat wave coming our way. Let's take a look at our sunrise, sunset. Got a beautiful shot here of a sunset over the golf course right here in the village. Thank you, Dave Goldman, for sending that one into us. Sunrise this morning was 5:40. The days are getting longer. Sunset tonight, almost 8 o'clock, 7:58. There you go. If you have a beautiful picture you'd like to send us, or your pets, places, vacations, or right here in the community like Dave did, we'd love to see it. Email them to us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com, and make sure you include your name, where you took the picture. Take it horizontally if you can. It fits our screen a little better, and we will use it in our sunrise, sunset segment. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Bree will be with us, and we will be talking with the Orange County Fire Authority and California Highway Patrol about the Every 15 Minutes program. Stay with us.
Hospice isn't about giving up. It's about showing up with compassion, expertise, and heart.
We care for the whole person, mind, body, and spirit, helping patients live each day to the fullest.
We walk with patients and families every step of the way because what we do is more than medicine. It's honoring every moment together.
Orange Hospice, with you, with heart, always. Please call us or visit orangehospice.net.
For nearly 40 years, Pacific Cardiovascular Associates has been the leading cardiovascular clinic serving Laguna Hills and Laguna Woods. At PCA, our board-certified heart specialists provide compassionate care from initial consultations to routine follow-ups and more. We offer echocardiograms, stress tests, vascular studies, and pacemaker checks, all in one convenient location. With free parking and full wheelchair accessibility, PCA makes care easier than ever. Visit our website or give us a call to schedule your appointment today.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
Here we are.
I wanted to do the intro again. He told me, he says, nope, you're right there, you do the intro. So I'm gonna do the intro. Steve Concialdi, Brian Kinsley, thank you so much for joining us today. We've got so many amazing things to talk about. We've got FADD, we've got the Every 15-Minute program, we've got your 35th anniversary. I mean, there's so much, right? So, Steve, why don't you start off by just taking us back to 1991. You started this program,
right? 1991, we started our first mock DUI crash, but it went back to when I was in high school. I went to modern day high school, and for my senior project, I had a connection with CHP, and so I have this officer, Ken Daly, had all kinds of photos of terrible crashes, drinking and driving related crashes. So I met with him, and then I met with somebody from our fire department, Kevin Brain, and him and Ron Blau, and they had some outstanding pictures of just some horrific car crashes. So I put together for my senior project a slide presentation, and I showed that, and the principal at our high school said, "Hey, this is great. You could continue." And so the next year, I showed it at Santa Margarita High School. I did it at Santa Margarita High School. I did it at a high school in Cypress, and then some middle schools, and that kind of grew into. So Santa Margarita, probably in 1990, when I did the slide presentation there, they said every year we have MAD come out. We put a car out there and a display. What can we do? So I went back to Officer Daly, and he goes, "Hey, let's watch this video." I got this video from back east, and there was no name to it. It was just like a play in a parking lot of this crash. So I came up with a mock DUI crash, and I met with Mission Hospital, and then Dan Young, who was our public information officer with the fire department, because I was starting to work for in 1990. I got hired with Orange County Fire Authority, and so just this big group. We worked together. We wrote a script. And we did our very first mock DUI crash in May of 1991 at Santa Margarita Catholic High School.
Wow. Could you have ever imagined that that's where the road would lead you, where your path would lead you?
35 years later,
Here we are.
hundreds of thousands of students, parents, faculty, because we live in a social society. No matter where we go, if I go to a party tonight or baseball game or a get together, there's alcohol involved. So we're trying to educate the teenagers and young adults, as well as the teachers, the parents. It helps the firefighters, it helps the police officers, just to be responsible, to plan ahead. Don't drink and drive, or don't get in the car when somebody's been drinking, because it's too easy to do that and then get in a horrific accident like this, or get a DUI. Nowadays we can take an Uber or Lyft or have somebody else drive. So it's getting everybody just to think and plan ahead and be responsible.
And Brian, when CHP is usually first on the scene, and officers are the ones to first see this, and then rescue's coming, and you're securing the scene. But when officers roll up on a DUI and they see their life lost or have major injuries, and they see maybe there's beer cans, they recognize that. Just how does that affect an officer to see those kinds of things and know it's just so preventable? Why, these kids with the alcohol in the car, and it has to have a big impact on safety.
Right. Yeah, it does affect us. I've been on the department for 14 years now. I started in South Los Angeles when I first graduated from the academy, and I remember my first scene going to like one of these major crashes that we were involved with, and just the victims that are there, they stick with you. Like, you don't forget about these victims,
Right.
The people that are involved in the crash. And it's just not the people that are injured or killed in these crashes. It affects everybody. Like,
Right.
it affects their family, it affects their friends, and affects the person that was involved in the crash that caused the crash. Now their life is ruined as well. They're going to prison for these horrific acts, which all could have been prevented.
Right,
Most
and
of
it's not
these
so much an
are-
accident as it is a crime, and
Right.
there you are seeing the aftermath, the immediate aftermath of that crime,
Yeah.
and it turns into a crime scene.
Which we're trying to put it out there, doing these every 15-minute programs, but all these are preventable if that person just didn't get behind the wheel that night. If they had friends to tell them, "Hey, you've had too much to drink, let me take your keys from you, let me drive for you," they could all have been prevented. So kind of things like that was what we're trying to teach.
Brian, what would be your advice to somebody who's younger, who is probably not watching this program, but the peer pressure that a lot of these kids are under?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine. You don't take my keys. I'm fine, and it ends up not being fine. But how do you get into the mindset of that person who thinks, I've had one or two or whatever, I'm fine.
Right. Like you said, they're going to think that they're fine. The first thing that goes when you start drinking is your judgment. So after that first drink, your judgment's going to go down, and you're going to think you're fine to drive. It's good to be surrounding yourself with people that are making good decisions, that know kind of the dangers of drinking and driving as well. They might not be watching this, like you said, but maybe they have family or the grandparents are watching it. They can share it with their grandkids, family members as well. Like, there's always another option of getting behind the wheel after you've been drinking. Like Captain Concialdi said, Uber, Lyft, taxi, call a friend, call a family member. 2 a.m, your parents are going to get a little upset from getting a call at 2 a.m. They're going to be happy to go pick you up.
They'll be much less upset than getting a call from you guys and coming out to a scene, right?
Yeah.
So Steve, what was it about the images you saw way back then in high school that said to you that made the impact on you? Because sometimes the impact doesn't, it doesn't quite get the kids, but it clearly got to you, and you've created this thing out of this.
So I was fortunate to get hired with Medics Ambulance at 18. I was a paid called firefighter in Mission Viejo at Station 24, and I was 18 years old, 19 years old, and seeing these horrific accidents. I mean, we still have terrible accidents today, but back then it seems like a lot of people didn't wear seatbelts. There was speed. The cars weren't as built as well.
There weren't as many airbags.
There weren't. Right. Yeah, we didn't have airbags until maybe in '91. Maybe the driver had to have one. That was it. But it was slowly. So we'd have these terrible traffic accidents, and I was young, and then I'd be also going to parties, seeing my friends drink and drive, and seeing all this, and then trying to make the decisions. Man, what I'm seeing, I would love to take my friends out with me on the ambulance, on the fire engine, to see this, for them to see what really takes place out there. And it just grew from the slideshow, doing some of these slide presentations. And then once we did that first mock DUI crash, I just remember Santa Margarita had an open lot on the back of the school, and the CHP vehicle and the fire engine and the paramedic van came around the corner, and the crowd just cheered, because it starts off with cars are covered up, and then the tarps are pulled off, and they hear this, this audio of this crash, horrific crash, and the drunk driver gets out. One of the girls gets out, and she's stunned, but then you have somebody laying on the hood that's been injected. All these were real. This was based on a real accident.
Wow.
And just, 2 people died, 3 people were seriously injured, and then we bring the mom in about 2/3 of the way into it, just like that terrible accident on Live Oak Canyon just last week, probably Thursday night. The dad showed up, and his wife was killed, and his kids were, that was, the guys that were there that called me the next day were like, it was one of those, it was just like the mock DUI crash. And so it's evolved, but honestly, it helps all of us. When we see this, it just makes us think, man, we don't want to be involved in something like this. Learn from somebody else's mistakes.
And we're seeing images of it right now. Do the students have a visceral reaction? I mean, it's better than any lecture they could go to in a hall and seeing, have a PowerPoint, right? Do they have a visceral reaction to see this? What are the reactions of the students when you guys show up and do this and afterwards?
I believe so. They're 20 to 30 feet away from this horrific accident, and you could see their faces. Some of the students cry. Some of them have that sorrow, or that anxious, or they just can't believe, especially when that mom shows up and looking for her son, and the son's trapped in the back of the car. I mean, it's gut-wrenching sometimes.
Like Brian was saying, those images just don't leave your psyche, right? They stay with you. And you've done over 130 of these events. Right. So how have you noticed that it's impacting the rest of the community?
I still get, when there's a terrible accident, I'll get an article, or somebody will send me a link to, and that's gone down over the years. We used to have a lot more drinking and driving accidents. It's still happening. Those numbers, and Brian could talk about that. We've made an impact. I know that, because I've done this for 35 years. I'll go to a wedding, or I'll go to a friend's house, or a Super Bowl party, and they're like, hey, you did our mock DUI crash when I was at El Toro High School, or Mission High School, or Tribuco High School, or San Juan Hills, back whatever year that was, in the early 2000s, in the late 90s, 2015, and they'll remember that. And a lot of the students that end up going to college, and a lot of them do, they'll start a Sober Bro program, where Sober Bro, it's just they're in fraternities or they're in sororities, and they'll just take care of their friends. And it just starts from that core group, the kids that are in, the student actors that are in it, the bystanders that roll up in the accident, and the ASB students or the student actors. It just starts with them. They tell their friends. We get students from all walks of life, from athletes, from theater, from drama, from the bands, whatever it is, to be part of it, so that when we have the bystanders running up and they call the people out by names, if Naomi or Eric's on the ground and they're not moving, or they're dead, and they call their name, everybody has a friend out there, and it relates like, man, I wouldn't want my friend being involved in this, or dying, or getting seriously injured. So it's everybody trying to help each other and learn from somebody else's mistake.
Now, Brian, it used to be called the every 15 minutes program, but you can't call it that anymore, right? Because as a result of like mothers organizations, these programs, maybe even Ubers and a lot of things have made an impact in terms of awareness, and the rates have gone down. Do you know what we can attribute a lot of that to?
Yeah, so it's still called the every 15-minute program just because it kind of resonates with everybody.
Sure.
But yeah, things like MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, what Steve Concialdi founded as well, Friends Against Drunk Driving, Ubers, Lyft. I think the numbers are down, or I guess rather up now. So it's every 39 minutes.
Okay.
So every 15 minutes started with every 15 minutes somebody is killed in an alcohol-related crash. So it's
Across the U.S.
Across the U.S. Every 15 minutes, one person is dying. So when we do these programs at the school, we'll actually work with the schools as well, and they'll actually pull a student out of class every 15 minutes. So they'll have a heartbeat going over the intercoms for school, and that heartbeat will stop, and that's signifying one of the students dying. And we'll actually go in and we'll read an obituary to the class that was prepared by their parents, and that student is gone for the rest of the day. Their cell phone's taken away. They're in with the other students that have been pulled out of class, and they have no contact with anybody for the rest of the day, for the entire night, until the next morning when they have the assembly, showing the video that was created for the event. So
is that student just picked at random?
not random, because we have to have the parents write the obituary for them, so they know. But usually the teachers will pick out students, and just like Captain Concialdi said, they try to pick students from all different kind of cliques in the school. So it's not just one clique or the popular kids. It's everybody. Everybody's affected from drinking and driving and these fatal crashes. So you try to go through every type of clique.
And it started out as the mock DUI crash. When we did our very first one in Orange County in 1991, it just grew. The schools loved it. And then somewhere the Office of Traffic Safety came up with this funding to allow more schools across the nation. And they started probably in the mid-90s, maybe even 94, 95, they started the every 15-minute program. So it's based on the mock DUI crash, but it's a 2-day program. And then it's that core group. They get pulled out, the every 15-minute kids, then the kids that are at the actual accident, the mock DUI crash, and they go to a retreat that night. So then Officer Kinsey or another CHP officer, they'll have a guest speaker that night. They'll talk to them. They'll have some fun at the hotel and everything, but they'll have some serious discussions. And then the next day there's an assembly at the high school, and they have to write obituaries. The parents have to write letters. I mean, it's very emotional. And then there'll be a ceremony the next day, and the parents will reunite. I mean, it's very moving.
Do you think this is what you are doing is directly linked to the reduction in alcohol consumption amongst teenagers?
The reduction, I think so. I think it's played a huge impact on them, because not only do we do this in Orange County, but they do this across the nation. And it's just getting the kids, they're seeing something. We're a very graphic society. We're on our phones and everything. And again, they're 20 to 30 feet away from this horrific accident, and they're seeing people seriously injured or dying. And it helps. It sticks with them for that weekend, for that summer, for them when they go off to college. And us, I mean, it's helped me. It's helped my friends. That it's helped our family group, my wife and our friends, that we make sure that somebody hasn't been drinking when we all go out, or we take a van or somebody's car, and somebody stays sober.
Well, and just glancing at the video here that they took, you can see the emotion emanating from the actors also, right?
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine how it must be resonating with the onlookers and the viewers.
Right, and you can see that. Those students are sitting right there. They're close by, and it's our partners. You saw O'Connor Mortuary. They've put on way too many of these funerals for young adults or for people that have been drinking and driving. So they're a partner. So it's the California Highway Patrol, Orange County Fire Authority, Orange County Sheriff's Department, Mission Hospital. All these agencies tip this trauma intervention program. Those are the people in the blue vest that come out to these
Falk ambulance shows up taking parties in the hospital.
Our local towing companies, Aliso Viejo, Preferred Towing, S&K Towing. These companies and agencies have been here since the beginning. And like the TIP volunteers, TIP started in 1995. And they come out to our horrific accidents. No matter if somebody dies at their home or they die on the street, we could call them. And within 20 minutes, a TIP volunteer will be out there to comfort a family member or a loved one or a friend that has witnessed an accident like this. So it's all these agencies and entities coming together to try to make a difference.
Right. And Brian, we also saw in the clip that, you guys take away the driver and you put him in a car. You don't get to go home that night. And that's a message that might hopefully resonate as well. Even if just an arrest, even if there was no accident, you're not going home that night if you get pulled over, if you're in an accident. You have now a lifelong thing that's going to follow you, this criminal record of drunk driving. And if there's a fatality involved, you're going to do some serious jail time. And does people kind of like wake up to that idea that this isn't just, I was tipsy driving, everything's going to be fine?
Yeah. So when I went to high school, I graduated in 2005, but I remember sitting in the bleachers watching this every 15-minute program as well. So we had it at my high school. And I've been doing these every 15-minute programs with Steve as well. And in the very beginning, like I was the one out there arresting the suspect, taking him to jail. And over the last couple years, it's kind of changed. Right when I put those handcuffs on that suspect, when I arrest them, that driver, the crowd cheers. They love it. They're like, they take that guy to jail. He deserves it. He's out of here. It wasn't like that in the beginning. So
and I think society's image, like I think of the movie Arthur, where he was a happy drunk and he's driving the car, and I'm like, you can't make that movie today, right? Because because of programs like this and Mad and all those kinds of things, our society has definitely taken a skewed view, a better view of what happens, how you should not be behind the wheel, and nobody's cheering for that anymore.
Yeah. So they're watching the event play out in front of them, and we're just hoping that they can see that these actions, they have real life consequences. You're going to be going to jail. You're not going to be going home that night. So unfortunately, when they kill that person in the crash, that person's not going home either. So hopefully they're seeing that, and hopefully they're making the right decision next time, just based off what they're seeing then.
What message would you give people who think, it's not going to happen to me?
A lot of people don't think it's going to happen to them. That's why they continue to do it. But it can happen to anybody at any time. The message I try to give them as well is, hey, you're going to prom this weekend. Please do not drink and drive, have a sober driver. But it's just not that weekend either. It's also not just the next weekend. It's for the rest of your life. You have to make that right decision to not get behind the wheel and drink and drive. A couple of years ago, I went to a friend's wedding in Alabama. And obviously, people, like Steve said, it's a social environment. People are drinking. And one of the guys that was drinking, he's like, hey, I can give you a ride home if you want. I don't know who you are.
Right.
You've already been drinking.
Right.
It's a 20-minute Uber drive for me. That's nothing. Pay the $20.
That's where you spend the money, not on lawyers' fees.
Right. And I'm not in high school, I'm not, just 21 years old. I'm almost 40. I'm still having to make the right decision. It's not something you can just forget about. It's something that you always have to think about when you're having a drink or two. So just not to get behind the wheel.
Because it eventually happens.
Yeah.
You could be pulled over, you get arrested, or even if you're in a minor accident that might not be your fault, but you've been drinking, then there's some fault for that driver. So it's affected people that way too. So it's just better to be just careful and just have somebody else drive, and you don't have to worry about it.
You guys started this 1991. It's grown to something big. Do you see a vision for it even better? Are you still trying to make adjustments to it to make sure that the message resonates in terms of your coordination? This is a big event. You guys have the Jaws of Life, you have CHP, like you said, the ambulances. Where do you see this going in the future, or just keep it going?
Right, I'm hoping to continue. So I started Friends Against Drinking and Driving, and it's basically these friends, it's all these entities coming together as friends, just trying to help each other out. And so it's limited. So it's a nonprofit. I do this on my off days. It is a lot of work, but I routinely help. So Laguna Beach, some of the firefighters called recently and said, hey, we want to do one at our school. And I help them with that. And I've helped people all over. I used to go to some of the school districts when they would have activities, a conference or whatever, and I would talk about this. So it's grown. So I share all the information with a lot of different people in schools. And then it's just, hopefully it'll continue. Hopefully my son and my daughter's an ER nurse at Mission Hospital, and my son's a firefighter with Orange County Fire Authority. I'm hoping they help and take this on someday.
And like Steve mentioned earlier, that the Office of Traffic Safety gives funding for this program. So any schools around here, I encourage them to do this program. They get, I think, $15,000 to help do this program for them. We didn't have a single school use this program this year, or use the funding for it.
Yeah, they have to do it every 15 minutes. They have to do the 2 day.
They have to do the 2-day program,
Okay,
but
wow.
not a single school did it. They just did the single day mock DUI crashes in the front. But
and there's no funding for that.
Right. So I encourage all the schools, high schools around here to apply for that grant. I think they give about 160 schools throughout California that grant money for it, but there's tons of money available for that. So hopefully more schools are doing it so we can have that full 2-day program a little bit more impactful for all the students and people involved.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, gentlemen. Thank you so much for sharing your morning with us and for all of this valuable footage, information, everything that you guys are doing to help keep the society and communities free of DUIs.
Well, you're helping us spread
Brian.
the message,
Yeah.
Bree, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back in a minute.
If you're living with spinal stenosis, sciatica, or any other spine issue, you're not alone. And you do have options.
I was flat on my back. Kind of severe back pain.
At Excel Health, we offer a free MRI review with experienced, fellowship-trained spine surgeons.
I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm active, so
Our minimally invasive procedures mean most patients are walking just hours after surgery. Call Excel Health today and let's talk about what we can do for you.
What if healing wasn't about masking pain, but restoring your body's ability to heal itself? At the Goswami Clinic, Dr. Gaurav Goswami has spent over 15 years helping patients recover using advanced stem cell therapy. By using your body's own cells, we help treat orthopedic, spine, and sports injuries so you can get back to living an active life. With cell banking, you can preserve your strongest cells, protecting your future mobility for decades to come. Call today to book your consultation.
For some places, care is a service. At Heritage Point, it's a commitment. Located in Mission Viejo, Heritage Point offers an environment where residents feel known, valued, and at ease. Our experienced staff build meaningful relationships that bring comfort and trust. With engaging activities designed for connection and creativity, every day brings something to look forward to. Our vibrant social dining experience is truly a welcoming environment. This is where community thrives. Visit our website or give us a call to schedule your visit today.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's talk about Saturday's movie. It's a classic. It's a great one from 1967. It is Cool Hand Luke. Stars Paul Newman, George Kennedy, and others. It's brought to us by Harvard Eye Associates. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. It's a story of a laid-back Southern man sentenced to 2 years in a rural prison, but refuses to conform. He changes the life of a lot of the prisoners in there, and it's a wild one about conformity. One of the major themes of the late 60s and the 70s in movie making. This is a classic, so make sure you see this one. If you haven't seen this one before, it's a great one. Check of our weather forecast before we head out, and we got some great temperatures ahead for the rest of the week as we head into the weekend. We got low 70s today. About 73 is going to be our high today. Then same thing for tomorrow as we head through the weekend. And then on Monday, start to bump up those temperatures. We got 75, 77 on Tuesday, and then 79 degrees on Wednesday. So we warm up from our nice cool weekend that we're enjoying right now. On our program on Monday, folks, Theater Guild is going to be here and the African American Heritage Club as well. So stay tuned for that one. I'll be here as well. So if that's any incentive to watch on a Monday. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.